Hello everyone, this is Kathleen and I am ready to sew the signatures in. And I was just going to do this off camera, but it's a 3-hole pamphlet stitch and I don't do that very often. I generally, because my journals are a little taller, I generally use a 5-hole pamphlet stitch. So this is quick enough that I thought I would just go ahead and turn the camera on and show you how I bind the signatures. So I have the spine, ready. Well, first of all, I have the signatures completely put together. I've got them ready to sew in, and I just now need to mark the spine, which I do with a template. So I decide how wide my spine is, divide that by however many signatures I have, and then measure and mark it so that I can punch the holes. And so this paper is the length of the book. Well, it's actually the length of the signatures in this case, but it's a little, the signatures are going to extend just a little bit beyond the spine on either side. And so I have to make sure that I have the same amount on here so that this is in the middle. And I just use an old mouse pad for my bottom, and then I have an awl. It's my pokey tool. Okay, so I have the holes measured. This is 3 centimeters wide, and so I have divided that into 3 and marked the holes. So now I'm just going to line that up on the spine and make sure that I have the same amount, top and bottom. It's in the middle, and then I am just going to punch the holes at those marks. And you want to make sure that it's straight so that your signatures will sit straight. Okay, so now I have the signatures in, and sometimes I can see it well enough on this side, but sometimes I need to mark. Well, I'll show you sometimes how I do it. So now I have the same thing. I have a little paper that I'm going to use to, and I make sure that I have the top marked so that I have the same holes. So I take a paper, this is going to help me punch through the signatures, and I have marked the same holes in this paper. So now I turn that over and make sure I can see it while I'm on camera. Now I put the cover aside and I take the first signature. This is the middle signature, and I'm doing this first because it has this really strange, this is an old wedding invitation. It's a vellum envelope that I have deconstructed. Sadly, it kind of ripped when I was pulling it apart, but I will cover that with some kind of decoration later. So when I put my signatures together, I flip through it and make sure I have all the papers in the right spot. And then I take something like this ruler is what I use, and I push them down, and then I put clamps on it so that it will be tight against itself. I make sure the top is at the top, and I put that on, line it up, and sometimes I use an old telephone book or another heavy book. But today, because it's awkward to do that on camera, I just will show you that I just push through the holes remove that, and then I pick up one of my needles, stick that through there, okay, and then I bring the cover over, and I'm going to put the middle one in first. So I go down because I want the strings to be in the center. I don't want them on the outside. So I go down, and then I will come back through and find the hole like that and push it, kind of push it through, but I'm going to need to come from the back side. So now I'm going to come back through that hole, skip over the middle, come back down through this one now, and then I need to come back through the middle. That's a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and it's just easy peasy. Okay, then you kind of tighten it up a little and make sure that there is a string on either side of that center, and then I just tie a square knot. An extra just for good measure. And then since this is going to be hidden inside this envelope, I'm just going to trim that off and not tie a bow. And then I can take all of my clamps off. And then now this can come back together. And then that inside is now hidden inside that. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then the next thing I do is I come back and then I smush each of the pages. And I'm careful when it's delicate not to fold it, but with thick papers particularly, that needs a nice, I just do it with my finger, but it needs a nice crease so that, you know, the pages even out. So I come along and do that for each of the papers. And that's the way it gets sewn in. You can see that's a patched page. Yeah. Okay, that's simple, isn't it? Right. So now I just do the same thing. I come back and make sure that I have the top. Sometimes I even double check to make sure that all of the, you know, that I know which way is top, and then there's my key, and then I line that up and take the awl, punch through, pick up another needle, and repeat the process. So this one is the first signature, so it goes in front of that middle one. So that's how you do it. I won't bother to take you through the whole thing again. We're already at 10 minutes. So I just wanted to do that quickly and to show you how to bind those signatures, and then we'll be ready to decorate. Thanks for being with me. Hope that's helpful to somebody.